This is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst. Master Herbalist, coming to you from Good Shepherd Ministries.
All right, welcome to Discoveries in Health. Bishop Dr. Truman Burst, and I'll be looking at two different websites. First website will be herbalhealthreview.com, and that is the information website. And what is it? She's emailing me back. She says, I'm at the grocery store in Portland. But thanks for the invite. Okay. Next time. And that's Uber Conference telling us that we are just about going live. Hello, Uber Conference.
I've invited you to a conference. Press 1 to join.
Yes. There you go. All right, well, we already joined through our Google Hangouts, and area code 301, you are the first one to join the conference. We are giving a little time here to let some folks join the conference. And if you have a question or a comment, I'm glad to take that question. So if maybe you could give me a mic check. Can you hear me? I'm looking for a mic check. And area code 301. Let's see what's going on here. Area code 301. Area code, we have a number of folks who have joined us. And we are going to unmute the mics so that we can get a comment or a question. All the mics are unmuted. And welcome.
Dr. Truman?
Yes, Sister Kashakia.
Shalom, brother. I was just trying to make sure if you could hear me and kind of figured that the lines were muted. Okay, good. You got it unmuted now?
All the mics are unmuted at the moment. Yes, welcome. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Discoveries in Health. And we are talking about natural remedies. We're giving a few minutes here as the room has a chance to fill up and people have a chance to join us. I'm looking at an email, and as I look at different things, I will share that, but I'm not going to share somebody's email with me because that's personal, but I'm going to talk about that email, and that email that I just received is about COPD, and talking about COPD, well, that's bronchitis, respiratory system, that's asthma, that's all of these respiratory disorders, and so this COPD is a big problem, and it's something that needs to be addressed. People need to talk about it. We need to talk about the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and that's one of the things that are on my list today to talk about. And then I'm going to answer that email back to that person. And you can email me. Let me give you that information. And I'm going to go now and I'm going to mute the mics for a moment. And then after here we go. I have muted all the mics for the moment.
You've been muted. To unmute yourself, press the star key twice.
And what did it say there? It said to unmute the mic. It says press the star key. So if you would like to unmute your mic and you have a question,
You've been muted. To unmute yourself, press the star key twice.
press the star key twice. If you want to unmute your mic and you have a question, press the star key twice to unmute your mic and ask a question. Okay, and if I don't get a question, looks like I'm getting a question. And let's unmute the mic from Sister Velma. Are you there? Hello, Sister Velma. Okay, I thought you had a question. I unmuted your mic. And if you have a question, press the star key twice to unmute your mic and ask a question or make a comment. And let me just check here. Hello, everybody in Kansas City. But if you have a question, press the star key twice and ask your question. My name is Truman Burst, Bishop Dr. Truman Burst. I am a graduate ethnobotanist and phytotherapist with 2 PhDs. I'm a master herbalist, chartered herbalist, and master herbologist. And what I do is I research natural remedies. And I've been researching natural remedies for over 50 years. In the Kansas area, do you have a question? Is there a question in the Kansas area? I see the mic is working. Do you have a question? If you have a question, press the star key twice to unmute your mic. That's right. If you have a question, please press the star key twice and unmute your mic. But what I do is I help people with natural remedies. In Kansas, I know your mic is unmuted. Do you have a question? In the Kansas area. Okay, no question. So going on to explain who I am and why I'm here, it's to answer your questions spontaneously about natural remedies. I'm not here to preach to you. You have to take responsibility for your own health, and all I'm here to do is to give you the information that I'm researching about any health question that you may have. And I will do that research, and I that's what I do. So if you have a question about whatever it is, like COPD, well, be sure and ask that question, and I will answer whatever health question that you have, and we do that spontaneously. And we do it in detail, and then we create a video so you can see the research as I'm looking at it. You can see it too in that video. You can't see it here over the telephone. You can't see it here possibly in the share, unless I'm missing something in Google Hangouts. You can't see it. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way you can. So far, I haven't figured that out. But if there's a way, then I would do it on Google Hangouts. Otherwise, you'll see it in a video that we'll create, and then we'll produce it, edit it, and take all the times that I've stuttered or whatever. Maybe and we'll take that out and create a video, and you'll be able to see that. So anyway, the lines are, we're going to open the lines, and then the topic today is going to be COPD, pulmonary respiratory disorders. We're going to talk about those things. And if you have a question at any time, you can ask it. We can break the topic, and get back to it. So if you have a question, press the star key twice and ask your question. Otherwise, let's talk about COPD, because I got an email just before the broadcast, and the question was all about COPD. It's a huge problem, and the fastest. Let's go over here and open this up again. I was doing some research on COPD, but anyway, while I'm bringing up that research, what I'm trying to say is that you can reach me by email, Truman at healthherbs.com. Truman at healthherbs.com. That's one way. That's TRUMAN at healthherbs.com. And the other way to reach me is my telephone number, 503-362-5899. That's 503-362-5899. And when we're talking about chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, that's what we're going to talk about. That's the topic today. So there's the two ways to reach me. Truman at healthherbs.com, 503-362-5899. And the other telephone number you want is betterhealthherbs.com. Betterhealthherbs.com. That's the products that I'm talking about. Now, I don't get anything from the sale of these products. I invented them. And hello, area code 301. Did you have a question? Hello, area code 301. Do you have a question?
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. I will mute the mic. And if you have a question, press the star key twice, and it will unmute your mic, and you can ask a question. And let's go here, and let's go there, and there we go. Are we doing that? Okay. All right. So, getting back to what I was talking about is how to reach us, and that is to call me 503-362-5899 or Truman at healthherbs.com. The telephone number for betterhealthherbs.com is 541-791-8400. And we've got a telephone call. And let's see what's going on here. Yes, Sister Kashakia. Hello, Sister Kashakia.
Hello?
Yes, hello, you've called me.
Yes, Dr. Truman. We were just wondering, everything went silent. Is everything okay?
I don't know why everything went silent. It shouldn't have.
And people are texting me saying they don't hear anything. It just kind of went silent. It's like people are there, but there's no connection where we can hear you.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can reboot that and change that. Let me see if I can change that.
Mute off.
Oh, there we go. The mute is off. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm down on your regular phone. I'll hang up and dial back in. I was just wondering, was everything okay? Because people were texting saying they couldn't hear anything since you first mentioned COPD, and then something just went blank from that point.
I got it. Okay. When I muted the mics, I muted myself as well. I see what I did.
Okay.
I,
only one.
I,
Now
I,
we're back 10 now.
okay. All right. Thanks, Sister Kashakya, keeping me on track here, folks. When I muted the mics so that we wouldn't get an echo, I muted myself as well. Okay. I make these mistakes. I'm not perfect, and so I'm going to mute the mics this time again. But if you have a question, the mics are open at the moment. And then we're going to go in and talk about COPD. But we're just getting started here. And if you have a question, the mics are open. So is there anyone out there who has a question while the mics are open? No question. All right. In that case, I'm going to mute the mics and unmute my mic as well. Okay. Instead of muting all the mics, including myself.
To unmute yourself, press the star key twice.
Well, how about if I do that?
Mute off.
Okay, so the mute is off on mine. Now I learned how to do this. It's taken me a while to figure out how all these buttons work as we are live over Uber Conference. We're live at Blab IM doing a video simultaneously as we're doing a video here off of my desktop as well. And so we're live all over the place. We're going to talk about COPD. But just before I do, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. I'm going to be going up on the website herbalhealthreview.com. And when I get on herbalhealthreview.com, I'm going to bring up the report on respiratory disorders and asthma. So if you click on common conditions, when you're on herbalhealthreview.com, you click on common conditions, and if you clicked on asthma, then it's going to bring up the information about the respiratory system. And we're going to talk about COPD, and I'm going to drop that report and that information. I'm going to drop that right on the screen to where you will be able to see it as well. And in order to do that, I've got to go like this. I've got to go over here and drop the asthma report right here. Okay, did I do it? Not quite. So I've got to go like that and go like this. And now I'm looking at that asthma report, okay, on one screen here. But I was giving you the information of how to reach me, and that's 503-362-5899 if you'd like to call me after the broadcast or anytime. 503-362-5899 is my phone number. My email address is Truman, Truman, at healthherbs.com. Truman at healthherbs.com. And the telephone number for the products. And again, I don't receive anything from the sale of any products. You can't do that in America. The FDA has all these rules and restrictions against natural remedies. If people think that food is, and herbs and so forth aren't policed, they've got the most evil police force in the world. They're called the FDA. And matter of fact, they're there right now harassing betterhealthherbs.com, which they do regularly. It's their ploy to come in and into your building. If you're a small herbal manufacturer, it's their ploy to come into your building and harass you for days and days and days so that you can't get any work done. They usurp your time. And so if can you imagine trying to run a little business, a little ministry, what you're not making any money and you're overdraft at the bank, and you've just gotten through all of the holidays, And then the next business day, the FDA shows up on your door unannounced, and they're going to be there for 5 days. So you can't fill orders. You can't help people. All you can do is talk to the FDA, which said they weren't going to come back anymore. They lied because they're liars, as well as criminal extortionists. And these criminal extortionists, also called the FDA, are there right now. And they're usurping the time of the owner, which happens to be my granddaughter. And this is what they did to put me out of business. I lost everything. That's why I don't get anything from the sale of the 14,000 natural remedies I created, because they drove me out of business. I lost my home of 20 years, fighting for the right to share information about natural remedies. I went totally broke. I live on food stamps and donations, and I don't get enough donations to live. It's a miracle how I survive. It's a fact. The other fact is that they're there right now, and they're going to be there for days and days. So if you wanted to order a product, it'll probably be late, a few days getting to you, while they're being run over through the gauntlet again, over and over and over again at betterhealthherbs.com. So just know that if you did place an order right now, it might be a little slow getting to you, because the FDA is busy trying to disrupt the ministry, as they do regularly. They said they did it for a year and a half. Then they said that they weren't going to do it anymore. 120 days later, that's exactly what they're doing again. So, which is what I told the chief federal judge of the Western United States, is that they're relentless. They're not going to stop, and they don't. They are the evil, evil FDA. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. And that's where these products are coming from. So I'm looking at 2 different websites: herbalhealthreview.com, herbalhealthreview.com. And once I get to herbalhealthreview.com, then I clicked on asthma and bronchitis and the respiratory system, because we're going to talk about that today. And we're talking about COPD, and that were chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and that we're talking about that. Oh, by the way, the telephone number to reach, she'll have to excuse herself from the FDA while you talk to her, because they're there right now harassing her. And we're talking about my granddaughter, who has 5 little girls from 12 to 4, and she is the sole provider for those 5 little girls, and and the FDA is there trying to drive her out of business. Well, that's not hard. You know, they've done it to me, they've done it to my daughter, now they're doing that to my granddaughter. And it's a national disgrace what they're doing. It really bothers me. So anyway, we're going to talk about some of the newest information about COPD. Let's talk about some of the newest information about COPD. So I'm going to grab a report here, and I'm going to pull that over here, and I'm going to grab this report and put it on my desktop, and we're going to look at that a minute as I describe that report. Come on, get over there. All right, here it is. And what we're talking about is natural news, and what some of the latest discoveries about COPD. And what scientists are discovering are that there are natural therapies to treat COPD. And all the national meeting at the national meeting of the American Thoracic Society, the ATS, currently underway in Denver. This was back in May 23rd, 2011. They were talking about COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That's the American Thoracic Society. And the COPD is a serious and progressive disease that makes it difficult to breathe. COPD, that's the miserable symptoms, which include coughing that produces large amounts of mucus, wheezing, shortness of breath, and chest tightness. COPD caused by smoking and long-term exposure to irritants and pollution. COPD is a major cause of disability and the fourth leading cause of death in the United States. COPD is a disease that can prevent sufferers from even doing basic tasks like walking and cooking. According to the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, there is no cure, and doctors don't know how to reverse the damage to the airways and lungs. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what they don't know and what my research tells me. Now, and because that's all I can do, I'm not prescribing and I'm not diagnosing. I'm a minister and I'm talking about what the natural remedies that are available for COPD. That's what I'm talking about. Now, and of course, the evil FDA would say, "Oh, you're diagnosing and prescribing." As a matter of fact, that's exactly what they said, and that's why we got into a war, and that's why I wound up in federal court, and that's why the chief federal judge of the Western United States told him to leave me alone, and I told that judge they're not going to do that. They're relentless, and the federal judge said, "Don't call him on the telephone anymore. Don't bother him anymore. Don't file any more paperwork." The judge said, "Call me on the telephone if you have anything more to say about this." No. They're there right now. They are relentless. It really bothers me. Anyway, back to COPD. I'm really just messing with my mind right now, the fact that they just continue to come after me and my family. Anyway, so we're talking about COPD, and some unexpected news came out of that meeting. And in two separate studies, scientists have announced breakthroughs that can profoundly help people suffering with COPD. And the treatments are not from big pharma, but they involve a vitamin and an ancient natural treatment. Now, what they're talking about is traditional Chinese medicine, which has been used as a paste known as Shaoxuan or XCP for over 1,000 years to help breathing difficulties, including COPD and asthma. And their primary ingredients are ephedra vulgaris. Well, you can't get ephedra in America anymore because the FDA has taken it away from you. So forget about it. But they found that it worked, but you can't get it, because it helps. And it competes with the big pharma, so that's why you can't get it. And you wouldn't want it from China anyway. You'd want it from America. The reason why is every food, every Chinese herb is so adulterated, so they got more problems with their food than than any other nation on the face of the earth. So if you're going to buy something that you're going to put in your mouth, don't get it from China, really. If you read the research on that, you would not buy anything that came from China to eat. They break every law that there is. Their Food and Drug Administration has no control over their food. They have multiple agencies, and they're all just as evil as the FDA here. Anyway, so that's ephedra. You can't get it, but that's all right because we've got other ideas. We'll talk about them. Anyway, they performed observational studies which show the patient decreased the frequency of COPD exacerbations. But this study is the first randomized controlled trial showing the effectiveness and the safety of XCP in prevention of COPD exacerbation. And the study was done by an MD and clinical researcher in the respiratory department of Wagner Min Hospital in Beijing. And it was said in a media statement that these data confirmed the beneficial effect of XCP in the prevention of COPD exacerbations. But again, they're talking about ephedra. And a treatment so we're going to go on because why talk about something you can't get? Well, let's talk about something you can get. One of the things that came out of this study is the fact that a study of high doses of vitamin D supplementation on top of a standard rehabilitation program improved the outcome in terms of exercise capacity and respiratory muscle and strength. That's vitamin D. It's called liquid sunshine drops. And I don't know if it's been put up on the internet yet, but liquid sunshine drops. We're talking maybe 5 to 10 drops for a short period of time. And in the beginning, an extra supplementation would be, say, about 10 drops. Low levels of vitamin D in the blood have been related with muscle weakness, a major target for respiratory rehabilitation and increased risk of falls. And since vitamin D is often depleted in patients with COPD, we wanted to see if the vitamin D supplementation would have a beneficial effect on rehabilitation among these patients, perhaps by increasing muscle strength. Now, in a research team studied 50 COPD patients with a history of exacerbations who had been referred for rehabilitation and randomly assigned them to receive either a monthly dose of vitamin D or a placebo. The patients receiving the vitamin D were giving 100,000 IUs. 100,000 IUs. That is 100 drops. 100 drops in a monthly dose, far above the U.S. recommended daily allowance of 600 IUs daily. Yeah, they underdose you on purpose to keep you sick, to keep feeding the evil pharmaceutical industry. That's right. They don't have enough money. They're going to have more. The greedy, evil people. Anyway, if you just 100, that's 100,000 international in a monthly dose. So 100, so that's a month. That is about 10,000, 20. That's about 5,000. Or let's do the math on that. Well, anyway, 100,000 spread over a month. divided by 30 days. That's, what is that? 3,000 a day? So I'm taking 5,000 every day of vitamin D just to increase my immune system. And it's working fine. I have great muscle strength at the age of 75, and I'm feeling wonderful, and I got plenty of energy. Anyway, the results out of this random study, what they found was that the patients treated with vitamin D had significant improvement in exercise capacity and respiratory muscle strength compared to those in the placebo group. So these results support the idea that correcting vitamin D deficiency by adding vitamin D supplements in training programs allows the COPD patients to achieve better results from rehabilitation, including improvements in muscle strength and exercise capacity. That being said, let's get that study out of the way now. Okay, that being said, we're going to get that out of there. Go back over here and grab the asthma report. And where is the asthma report? Okay, come on, asthma report. Okay, we're going to bring that up. All right, I'm going to get rid of that report and go over to the asthma report. Well, I thought I had it, but I didn't. Okay, I'm getting this. Hold on while I grab my report. Is that it? No. Okay, I'm going to click on that. Oh, I don't need this. Repair it. Oh, that'll help. Okay. There's my asthma report. All right, now I've got my asthma report up on the screen. I'm looking at that because this is the culmination of my research, is that asthma is caused by spasms in the smooth muscles surrounding the bronchi and the bronchioles, the small airways in the lungs, causing the passageways to partially close. And the spasms are accompanied with increased mucus, which clogs the bronchioles and the bronchi and worsens the attack. And it is triggered by an allergic response, and the immune system produces histamine. Thus, any type of allergen can precipitate an asthmatic attack, and it results in difficulty in breathing, especially exhalation, and coughing and wheezing and a tight chest. And this above condition is specifically known as bronchial asthma. And cardiac asthma is the result of a heart malfunction, another muscle problem, which is helped with the vitamin D. And another thing that would be very beneficial is GABA, G-A-B-E, gamma amino butyric acid. That also improves your mood. Yeah, it reduces stress. It's inexpensive too. GABA, G-A-B-A. So that would be another thing. Vitamin D and GABA are two more things I'm going to add to this report. But let's go on to talk a little more about this, asthma. Then we're going to get into what to do about it besides the GABA and the vitamin D. Now, the respiratory system consists of the lungs and a series of associated passageways leading into and out of them. The upper respiratory system includes the upper respiratory system includes the nose, the throat, and associated structures. The lower respiratory system includes the larynx, the trachea, the bronchi, and the lungs. The term respiration refers to the overall exchange of gases between the atmosphere and the blood cells, and the cardiovascular system transports the gases in the blood between the lungs and the cells, and then it functions include to supply oxygen, eliminate carbon dioxide, and help regulate the acid-base balance of the body, and increase nutrition and detoxify and strengthen the body. Then, when you do that, and you get all that working just right, asthma will leave the body, and COPD will be greatly improved. And here's how you deal with this. The first thing on the list here that I'm looking at, on my asthma list that you'll be looking at when you're looking at this video later that we produce, which we are behind in because they just created a new website, and that computer tech, who is my grandson, is busy working on that, getting that website going, and so he doesn't have time to help me here do this. So I'm pretty much on my own trying to figure this stuff out. And when you're 75, you know, even though you feel like a 30-year-old, all this new tech takes a while to assimilate. Anyway, so what we're talking about here is the colloidal silver water. That's the number one thing to get rid of asthma, to get rid of COPD. What you do is you drink colloidal silver water day and night for at least 10 days. And during that 10 days, you're drinking it day and night, whatever water, and you should be drinking approximately 2 quarts of water every day, at least. And if you're large, if you're heavy, more. You need a lot of fluids, because what we're going to do here is we're going to give you plenty of fluids. And the colloidal silver water, what it's doing is those submicroscopic particles of silver that a colloidal silver water generator makes. Oh, and you want a colloidal silver water generator. You don't want to buy the water. That's right. Don't buy colloidal silver water. Make it yourself with a generator, number 4576 colloidal silver water generator over there on betterhealthherbs.com. You can type in 4576 and it'll bring up a colloidal silver water generator. And that is a device that I invented 25 years ago. It's time proven. It works absolutely incredible. And why would anybody buy the water when they can, that's $60 a quart, when they can make a quart every 10 minutes for 25 cents? Why would they buy a quart for $60 from the health food store when you can make a quart every 10 minutes for 25 cents? How do you do that? You go to the store, you get a gallon of distilled water, and that's what you make. You get this little box that I invented called a colloidal silver water generator, number 4576, from the folks over there at betterhealthherbs.com. You can call them on the phone, 541-791-8400, and they'll answer there. There's probably an FDA agent standing right next to them, and listen to everything that they say, try to figure out some way to do something evil to them and destroy them and drive them out of business. But man, I'm mad at those FDA guys for doing that. That's it. That's horrible. They're picking on my granddaughter, and that really angers me. Anyway, you can call them 541-791-8400 and ask for one of those generators. They're $79.95, and you'll have that generator the rest of your life because it's guaranteed for life.